Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
I think I could talk about this week's tool for the rest of the year and still not run out of stuff. This week we're going to be talking about the Plumb. So to give you a little bit of a understanding what the Plumb is and how it works, to give you kind of a overview, the Plumb is a tool that is used by carpenters, operative masons, anybody that's responsible for building anything that's basically going to go vertical. And what it is, I've come to find that a lot of folks don't know actually what it does. It's basically a string, and on the bottom of that string is a very heavy weight. And what you do is you hold that string up, and it's going to, by default, because of gravity, make a straight line perpendicular to essentially the center of, or to perpendicular to the level, I guess is the easiest way to say it. The weight on the end of that line is attracted by gravity to roughly the center of the earth, right? So wherever it's pointed at the bottom is essentially a direct line that points to the center of the earth. There's a bunch of science involved that I'm not intimately familiar with, how it works and whether or not it's pointing to the exact center of the earth. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me in the comments, and that's cool. But the purpose here is to understand that when you want something to stand, working along that line of gravity makes the most sense. So you put a post in the ground, and you want to make sure that that post is plumb along that line, so that the building stands upright and stays upright. If you install a post or the beginning of a wall or whatever at an angle, having it not succumb to gravity is very difficult. So if you put a wall with an overhang or things like that, it can be done for sure, but somewhere in that structure is essentially a gravitational plumb that will effectively allow any cantilevered surfaces or any surfaces that are overhanging to be essentially carried by another surface or another arm that's holding it in tension to keep it upright. When we talk about that sort of from an operative level, it's like, oh yeah, it's just a tool. When we talk about it from a symbolic level, we're really talking about the ability to stay grounded and centered, to find that gravitational core within yourself, within your beliefs, within your faith, within your sort of emotional range, your psychological range, what have you, to find that center within yourself and stay centered, even amidst the adversity of everyday life, even when it's hard to do it, even when life throws some stuff at you. And this is why the Plumb is perhaps one of the most productive implements in the craft to meditate on, to reflect on. Spending time with the Plumb is always time well spent. When we get into it a little bit more over the course of the rest of the week, I think you'll find that it's useful in a lot of different applications. But for you and what you're doing right now, just remember that the ability to stay centered and in the moment and stay present is best described by the Plumb.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at masonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.